The Soul Stone burns with hellfire as an eerie red glow blurs your vision. Fresh blood flows into your eyes, and you begin to hear the tormented whispers of the damned. You have done what you knew must be done. The essence of Diablo is contained. For now. You pray that you have become strong enough to contain the demon and keep him at bay. Although you have been fortified by your quest, you can still feel him, clawing his way up from the dark recesses of your soul. Fighting to retain control, your thoughts turn toward the ancient mystic lands of the Far East. Perhaps there, beyond the desolate wastes of Aranok, you will find an answer. Or perhaps, salvation.
So, Marius, at last I find you.
Tyrael, yes. Yes, now I recognize you. I should have known you'd travel in disguise. They're always watching.
I've been searching for you for a long time, Marius. I was rather beginning to think you didn't want to be found.
Oh, forgive me, Tyrael, please. It wasn't my fault.
Not your fault. Tell me, Marius, how was it not your fault?
The Wanderer. Yes, it was the Wanderer. My days at the Rogue Citadel seem so long ago. I sought refuge from my memories in the company of other outcasts, high in the mountains past the Eastern Gate.
Do you want something?
Oh, I fought sleep for days at a time. For when I dreamt, the memories would return. Memories of the monastery and the evil which had claimed it. Dreams, memories. I couldn't tell the difference anymore. Had the evil from my dreams followed me at my heels? How had he found me here? How could this broken shell of a man, barely able to carry the weight of his own sword, be the burning terror which drove me to hide here? demons of his own that he struggled to contain. And he was losing. As I watched, I became convinced that I was truly mad. The terror, the destruction, the evil I witnessed, how else could I explain them? Were these the demons from my dream, or were they born within the Wanderer? Why did I follow him? I don't know. Why do things happen as they do in dreams? All I know is that when he beckoned, I had to follow him. And from that moment, we traveled together east. Always into the east. We traveled east, over the mountains and into the vast deserts of broken lands. As the days passed, my companion told me of himself, that he had once been a great warrior, and that a dark and secret burden now weighed heavily upon him. We traveled for an eternity across that arid wasteland. How long? I couldn't say. And always, a dark cloud seemed to follow us just over the horizon. Finally, the journey ended. We climbed the last bridge. There below us lay our destination. The shining jewel, Loot Lane, with a great sea beyond. We made camp that last night. Perhaps it was the warm desert wind or the sound of the ocean, but for the first time in many weeks, I slept. However, the dreams returned, but these were clearly not my own. I beheld a vision of a great man, the mage, Tal Rasha. You were there too, Tyrael. I remember seeing you in my dream. His brethren had cornered a great demon, Baal, Lord of Destruction, who had been set loose upon the world. They attempted to imprison the demon within a sacred stone. Yet when their attempts failed, Tal Rasha selflessly volunteered to contain the demon within himself, completing the prison. He instructed his brethren to bind him within a tomb, buried under the sand, there to wrestle with the demon for all eternity.
Now you know what I seek, Marius. This is my brother. Sleep now. We set out with the dawn.
The next morning, we walked over the hill toward Lut Gholein. I had no idea then of the horrors that were in store for me there. My companion drew in the dank, cold air of the tomb. It seemed to strengthen him. I stood in the doorway between light and dark. What was left of my sanity implored me not to enter. But that voice was just a whisper now. As we worked our way down, deeper and deeper into the crypt, I began to see a change in my companion. He seemed to be gaining strength. I could hardly see in the gloom, but my companion seemed to know the way. We came at last to a great hall. It was then I realized my companion hadn't been gaining strength. He had been losing what was left of his humanity. He moved with demonic speed, and then you appeared.
Stop! The beast contained herein shall not be set free, not even by you. Just ensured the doom of this world. You cannot even begin to imagine what you've set in motion this day. Go to the Temple of Light in the eastern city of Kurast. There you will find the gate to hell opened before you. You must find the courage to step through that gate, Marius. Take the stone you hold to the Hellforge, where it will be destroyed. Now run. Take the stone and run!
What choice did I have? I ran. I did as you told me, Tyrael. I found the Temple of the Zakarum. In the deepest recesses of the temple, I found a dark gathering. My companion, the Wanderer, Tal-Rasha, and a great evil who could only be the Lord of Hatred himself, Mephisto. I heard a voice then, like 1,000 needles in my heart.
My brothers, at long last we stand reunited. The Infernal Gate has been prepared, and the time of our final victory is at hand. Let the way to hell be opened. And the evil that was once vanquished shall rise anew. Wrapped in the guise of man, shall he walk amongst the innocent, and terror shall consume they that dwell upon the earth. The skies shall rain fire, and the seas will become as blood. The righteous shall fall before the wicked, and all creation shall tremble before the burning standards of hell.
What I saw then was not meant for mortal eyes.
The gate stands ready. Now, my young brother, the time has come to assume your true form. Arise, Diablo, Lord of Terror. Send forth your terror into hell.
I heard later that he was defeated. And that the Soul Stones were destroyed in Hellforge. All except one. Oh, I failed, Tyrael. I couldn't do as you asked. I couldn't enter that gate. Forgive me, Tyrael. Forgive me.
Marius, give me the stone, and all is forgiven. Give it to me, Marius.
Take it. Take it, take it. I'm glad this is finally over, Tyrael. Look what the stone has done to me.
You haven't failed, old man. You've done exactly as you were meant to do. However, I am not the Archangel Tyrael.
Fail? No. No, 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 no.
You have done well, Marius. Now I think you shall have your reward.
I don't deserve it.
Baal! The gates of Sescheron have stood for eons beyond remembrance, and you shall not breach them now. Remove your foul demons from our lands. We stand on the side of light, and you shall not be allowed to reach Mount Arreat. And that which you seek will not be yours.
Enough! Enough!
I shall take your position into consideration. Well, it seems your terms are not acceptable.
And the stench of terror drifts on a bitter wind. The people pray for strength and guidance. They should pray for the mercy of a swift death. For I have seen what the darkness hides.
stand at the end of days. The first sign shall appear in the heavens. Justice shall fall upon the world of men. The armies of light and shadow will clash across the fields of eternity. Leah, are you all right, my girl?
It was nothing, Uncle. Just a bad dream. We should be getting you home.
But there's still work to be done. If these translations are correct, the powers of hell could already be on the move. The world must be told of the coming darkness. You do believe me, don't you, Leah? It has begun.
Leave it, Uncle! It's not important! It was all just stories. My uncle saw what he wanted to see.
Deckard sacrificed much to protect this world. But his work is not over.
What would you know about sacrifice?
Tyrael, the ancient law of the high heavens strictly forbids us from interfering with the mortal world. Yet you have done so, brazenly.
All I am guilty of, Imperius, is bringing justice, while you hide, cowering behind your throne.
Silence! You will now answer for your transgressions.
You cannot judge me. I am justice itself. We were meant for more than this. To protect the innocent. But if our precious laws bind you all to inaction, then I will no longer stand as your brother.
You chose to be one of us.
Sacrilege.
Thus, I fell, willingly.
never believed. All your crazy tales. The work. You never finished. I will finish it, Uncle. I will carry on for you. This makes any sense to me. What am I missing, Uncle? What am I supposed to see?
Ravaging this world and all hope of resistance. My minions will find the stone, wherever you choose to hide it. Then, at long last, Osmodan shall reign as the Prime Weaver.
Even in the heart of heaven, angels can still feel fear.
My old enemy. You cannot hide from me, no matter what form you choose to wear. Let your true self be revealed. Diablo.
War ends today. Imperius shining heaven, Imperious. For soon, nothing of it shall remain but my laughter.
In the end, it was a mortal heart that saved 2 worlds from ruin and cast down the prime evil forever. A new day breaks for both angels and men. For mankind's greatest champion, the Nephilim, rose to confront the darkness that we, in our pride, would not face. My brethren, I will take my place among you once again. But this time, as a mortal. Since justice has been met this day, I will now stand as wisdom. On behalf of those who risked all to save us. Forevermore, we shall stand together, angels and men, in the light of this glorious new dawn.
Since the first spark of creation, angels have waged the eternal conflict to defeat the forces of darkness and corruption. Led by the Angiras Council, their unity made them an indomitable force for light and righteousness.
Stand fast!
Auriel, Archangel of Hope. Malthael, Archangel of Wisdom. Ethereal, Archangel of Fate. Tyrael, Archangel of Justice.
Imperius, the Archangel of Valor.
Hold, Imperius. We must regroup our forces.
Hold! Victory is within our grasp! We press on, brother!
Diablo. Are you prepared to face me alone, Imperius? Your rage makes you powerful, yet you hide it from your brethren. Perhaps you fear them seeing you for what you truly are.
I fear nothing!
This was your trap, Diablo. Pitiful.
Yet, here you all are.
Sacrilege.
So much for your unity. The trap, at last, is sprung.
Angels, demons, I fear their conflict will soon engulf the world of men. And when it does, what hope will there be when even the wrath of angels cannot be quenched?
Diablo was defeated. For a time it seemed we would know peace. But it was not to be. For Diablo's essence lingers in the Black Soul Stone. I cannot destroy the stone, nor allow its evil to remain within the heavens. And so it must be hidden, even from the angels. I pray that it will be enough. You have done well, Horadrim. Your service here is finished, and you should all run. Malthael. Brother. Why? The Nephilim will stop you.
No one can stop death.
Long ago, hundreds of faithful warriors set off into the eastern swamplands on a sacred mission, where they seemed to vanish without a trace. They were the Crusaders, an order of devout men and women dedicated to saving the Zakarum faith from the corruption of Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred. The Crusaders swore an unbreakable oath to scour the world for a key to Zakarum's salvation, and to remain true to it until they died. Every one of them took on an apprentice who would be forged into a weapon of the light. When their master fell, the apprentice took up their name, their shield, their weapon, and their cause. Now a lone crusader marches west, drawn by the sight of a star falling upon New Tristram. His path has changed, but his noble quest and unyielding faith remains. The Crusader faces evil head-on, annihilating his foes with the power of the light. Armed with hallowed weapons and impervious shields, he can easily dispatch single threats or deliver sweeping blows against groups of enemies.
Like chaff before the wind.
His every strike is driven by wrath, a fervor that grows steadily and truly ignites when the Crusader smites the forces of darkness, allowing him to unleash his mightiest abilities.
By the light be damned!
He can sear those that stand against him with heaven's fury, or knock them off their feet with a brutal shield bash. This divine warrior is a powerful ally to other heroes. When he charges into the fray, he can taunt the legions of evil, forcing them to attack him, or cast his holy judgment to root them in place.
My faith is rewarded.
He can also strengthen allies, granting them additional battle prowess by pronouncing the sacred laws of Zakarum. Clad in faith and steel, the Crusader is able to stand toe-to-toe with any abomination the burning hells can muster. His goal is nothing less than the eradication of all demons, and he will use any means necessary to ensure they never return.
Make your peace while you can.
The life of a Crusader is fraught with peril. Not everyone has the fortitude to walk the path. But if you possess the courage to stare at the abyss without flinching, your crusade may take you from the darkest pits of the burning hells to the shining peaks of the high heavens. Perhaps you will find what you seek along the way.
The crusade marches on!
Few outsiders have witnessed the Umbaru tribal feuds that rage in the dense Taganze jungles. These ritualistic wars are not for lands or gold, but for living captives to offer up as sacrifices. The Umbaru perform these ceremonies to honor the spirits of the unformed land, a veiled reality that the tribe's revered witch doctors can experience. Recently, one of the most devout of these warriors rebelled against his own spiritual leaders, believing that they had succumbed to corruption. Although banished for his ways, this witch doctor is unwavering in his faith in the spirits. He has embarked on a journey of truth and honor that will bring him face to face with the cursed demonic forces that threaten Sanctuary. The witch doctor wields supernatural forces, assaulting the bodies and minds of his enemies via crippling diseases, potent alchemy, and ancient rites. Channeling these black magics consumes mana, a mystical pool of energy that slowly replenishes over time. To expand his mana supply, the witch doctor can don fearsome tribal equipment imbued with magic, allowing him to hurl an almost endless barrage of spells and incantations against his foes. While the witch doctor can cause direct damage to others, some of his most powerful skills are far more subtle. Horrify, for example, causes nearby enemies to flee in terror, while mass confusion blurs the line between friend and foe, turning even the staunchest allies against each other. Yet these curses pale in comparison to the witch doctor's ability to summon hideous creatures from the netherworld. By drawing from his mana reserves, he can plague the land with poisonous toads, command savage beasts to rend the flesh of his opponents, and release a swarm of fire bats to set his enemies ablaze. Most terrifying of all is the Gargantuan, a massive abomination that can obliterate the most heavily armored demonic forces. The Witch Doctor is a fearsome combatant who will give no quarter to his foes, but he also hungers for knowledge about the world and its mysteries. His quest to fight evil in honor of the spirits is a noble one, and he will not rest until he sees it through to the end. If you are drawn to shadowy arts, grim magics, and the camaraderie of foul minions, then your calling might lie with the Witch Doctor. The tales of Ivgarod's monks are steeped in mystery and legend. It is said that these reclusive holy warriors endure grueling training for years on end at the wondrous Floating Sky Monastery, forging their bodies and minds into weapons of righteousness. For the monks, there is no greater honor than to follow the will of their 1,001 gods, even if it means death. Now, as the forces of darkness rise across the world, Ivgarod's ruling patriarchs have dispatched one of the monk order's greatest disciples to purge the evil at its source and restore balance to the corrupted lands of Sanctuary. The monk is a weapon of the gods themselves. He is a peerless martial artist who can pummel single foes with rapid-fire strikes or annihilate throngs of demons by unleashing waves of pure energy through force of will. Combat is essential to the monk's lifelong pursuit of physical perfection. With his fists alone, he can vanquish the most heavily armored threats, but his mastery extends to swords, staves, and other armaments as well. The monk's melee prowess is bolstered by his spirit, an inner reserve of power that can be used to perform devastating attacks, like the stunning Wave of Light and the fabled Seven-Sided Strike. The monk can also replenish his drained spirit by landing successive blows against enemies. Another ability of this outstanding warrior is the creation of mantras. By harnessing his spirit, the monk can generate torrents of holy energy around himself and his allies.
These powerful mantras can mend wounds and fortify defenses while simultaneously weakening nearby foes. The monk forgoes heavy armor, relying instead on his superhuman agility to evade danger. With lightning-quick reflexes, he can deflect vicious attacks and escape his adversaries with the grace and swiftness of the wind.
You are defeated!
Devout and wise, fierce and unrelenting, the monk symbolizes a union among body, mind, and the world at large. If you have the courage to brave intense close-range combat and the discipline to seek perfection in all things, then perhaps your destiny is to walk the righteous path of the monk.
This fight is over!
All that grows must also wither and die. What dies and rots will then nourish the living. This is the great cycle of being, and we, the priests of Rathma, use our dark art to protect it. Though most do not understand us, we go where we are needed. My master has learned that a star fell in the west, drawing the dead from their graves. He commands me to journey to Tristram and return them to their rest. For if the cycle is not upheld, it would mean the end of all things.
Ever since the Burning Hells became aware of Sanctuary's existence, demonic forces have sought to corrupt mankind. To break the will of mortals, demons butcher the weak and reduce countless villages to smoking ruins. Those who survive are forever scarred by their horrific experiences. One of these unfortunate victims witnessed the slaughter of her family firsthand. Left alone and afraid, she was taken in by other survivors who had sworn to rid the world of the creatures of hell. These demon hunters, as they are called, forged the young girl into a fearless weapon to exact revenge upon the dark forces that prey on the innocent. The Demon Hunter's intense training has prepared her to face evil in all of its forms. Well versed in ranged weaponry and tracking, she can hunt down and annihilate Hellspawn with an array of crossbows and explosive devices. In combat, the Demon Hunter's thirst for vengeance is without equal, but she must keep her anger in check to defeat enemies effectively. Her killing sprees are fueled by hatred, a constant supply of rage that drives her offensive attacks. When utilizing her more defensive skills, she draws from discipline, a precious source of energy that replenishes slowly. Survival depends on striking a balance between hatred and discipline, so the Demon Hunter must overcome threats with strategic cunning. Her ranged weapons can launch entangling shots that slow enemies so that she can easily defeat them. When opponents close in on her, the Demon Hunter can vault to safety and fire volatile grenades to decimate her foes. The Demon Hunter's arsenal extends far beyond these feats. Using carefully hidden traps or devastating sentry turrets, she can ambush enemies with lethal efficiency. In dire times, she can envelop herself in shadow power, increasing her movement and firing speed to such a degree that even the most resilient demonic opponents cannot escape her wrath. If you have the courage and tenacity to track down and exterminate Hell's most formidable minions, then perhaps it is your destiny to purge evil from the world of Sanctuary as the Demon Hunter. For generations, the mighty barbarians observed a tireless vigil over Mount Arreat, and the mysteries veiled beneath its slopes. 20 years ago, the sacred mountain was torn asunder, reducing the barbarian territories to a smoldering wasteland. Arreat's defenders scattered into the winds, burdened by guilt and devoid of the fierce pride that had once burned in their hearts. Yet, one among them searches for hope. Through the evil that has taken hold of Sanctuary, he sees a means to rekindle the barbarians' culture and give them a reason to fight and a reason to live. The barbarian is a one-man army. Possessing immense physical strength, he can storm through legions of demons, rending every foe in his path with pure brute force.
I will not be denied!
Only in the midst of combat does the barbarian truly feel alive. As he deals or takes damage, he builds up fury, a primal energy that causes his attacks to become increasingly vicious and devastating. When his fury reaches its limit, he becomes an unstoppable force of nature, shredding his adversaries with whirlwind attacks and ripping the ground apart with violent quakes.
You cannot stand before me!
The barbarian can weather savage attacks that would kill lesser mortals. His natural resilience is fortified when he dons monstrous plate armor and shields. In rare cases, when he is overwhelmed by insurmountable odds, he can turn the tide of battle with ear-shattering war cries that reignite his fury or reinforce the defenses of nearby allies. Although the barbarian might appear to lack finesse, he is renowned for his weapons expertise. This peerless combatant can choose to dual wield, cleaving his way through demons with two types of melee weapons. Or he can focus his might into colossal two-handed swords, axes, and other armaments. With the wealth of combat knowledge at his command, no force can withstand his might. Strong and noble, fearless and resolute, the barbarian is a warrior to his core. Only if you have the iron will to dominate the battlefield with sheer size and ferocity can you hope to take on the honorable quest of the barbarian. The study of magic has been an integral part of Sanctuary's history since the birth of civilization. At the great Ishari Sanctum in Caldeum, some of the most devoted mages share their ancient arts with pupils from around the world who display an affinity for magic. One such prodigy was placed under the tutelage of the Sanctum's mages to hone her skills. Yet her lack of restraint and unquenchable thirst to study forbidden magics drew the ire of Ishari's instructors. Calling herself a wizard, she has set out to pursue her quest for knowledge and forge her own path in the world. This rebellious youth believes it is her destiny to triumph over the dark forces now rising across Sanctuary.
I'm just warming up.
The wizard is fiercely talented in various forms of magic. Her broad expertise allows her to manipulate the very fabric of reality and bend time, space, and arcane energies to her will. To perform her stunning feats, the wizard relies on arcane power, a wellspring of energy that continually replenishes itself. Although this power regenerates at a fast rate, the wizard has learned to wield it carefully, for she can only invoke a limited number of spells in rapid succession before her reserves are completely drained.
How does that feel?
In battle, the wizard can inflict tremendous amounts of damage on entire groups of enemies at once. For example, her blizzard spell pummels large areas with jagged ice shards, while Disintegrate channels a focused beam of pure energy that incinerates everything it touches.
When the wizard does burn through her arcane power, she can become an easy target. Her survival rests on avoiding enemies by warping time and space, or teleporting herself out of harm's way. Conversely, she can choose to forsake defense entirely and transform into a mighty Archon, a being with unlimited arcane power who can lay waste to hordes of foes.
Your grave awaits!
Traditional mages might see the wizard as undisciplined, but even they would admit that the powers she wields are astounding. If you have the skill and brilliant intellect to harness these unstable magics and turn them against your enemies, then it might be your fate to follow the path of the wizard.
I am unstoppable.
Thy divine wisdom guides me.
Quiet.
Though my path is wrought of darkness.
Shut up! They have our scent. Run!
To make it.
He has to.
Blessed Akarat, thy eternal light protects me. Thy divine wisdom guides.
Look at me! All the gold we want is right there.
No, I just came here for knowledge.
They're coming!
I know.
Get over here!
Now, breach the seal. Get us through that door!
Oh, light, help me. By three they come. By three thy way opens. Blood shows. Doesn't make any sense. Blood is the key. Blood is the key!
What?
I need two of you!
No! Go! I'll hold them! Go!
So, it says the blood of the willing goes...
You gotta be kidding me!
It worked! We have to help him!
He's dead already.
It's a shame he didn't make it. Oh well, cheer up. Gold splits better 3 ways instead of 4. Must be hidden here somewhere. Read this.
By three they come, by three thy way opens, by the blood of them willing. Hail, Hail the Creator. Ha! Hail the daughter of... Oh no. No.
What about the coin? What's it say?
This is forbidden. This is a summoning. I cannot speak.
Don't lie to me!
We came here for treasure. What is this place?
I don't know. Maybe it's a temple. Or a tomb, or...
It's a gate.
Blessed Akarat, thy eternal light protects me. Thy divine wisdom guides me. Though my path is wrought to darkness, guide my soul to thy sacred ways.
From the abyss, we see thy salvation. By three they come, by three thy ways, by the blood of the willing. We call thee home.
Blessed Akarat, thy eternal light protects me. Thy divine wisdom guides me. Though my
Open your eyes.
Eternal light protects me. Eternal light protects me. Eternal light protects me. Eternal light protects me. Eternal light.
There is no light here. You came to the darkness for knowledge.
Yes.
And all the knowledge you seek is here. Surrender. Speak the words. Call her home.
By three, they come. By three, thy way opens. By the blood of the willing, we call thee home. Hail, daughter of hatred. Creator of sanctuary. Hail, Lilith.
Blessed Mother, save us.